What's going on, guys? Knoxville363. I'm back with a LG Marquee Pro Con video. I've had it for a few days now and I've used it quite a bit, so I figured I'd make this video to let you guys know what I liked and what I disliked about the video. First topic we're going to cover is the actual design of the phone. I believe that this phone was actually designed quite nice. I really liked it. I thought that they did a lot of nice features on it. So I figured let's go over a few of these. First of all, it's very lightweight, very thin, and I wouldn't say it's half the size of the board because I'd be exaggerating, but there is a huge significant difference when you put the phones upside one another. That part got cut out in my LG Marquee versus the ZTE Warp video. I don't know why that got taken out, but anyways, I've already covered that it is lightweight, it is thin. And another huge thing that I liked about the design was the fact that they put a trapdoor or cover for the USB charging port, which I like that feature a lot. I obviously use this a lot due to the fact that the less stuff that gets into your phone, less chance you have of something malfunctioning. Now, there is no cover for the 3.5mm head jack on top. However, to be honest with you, it is a nice feature, but I don't really think it would make that big of a difference. Design quality, that is what I really liked about it. Now the cons, okay. One of the biggest things that I really disliked about it was the power sleep button. If you can see right here, the phone has a slight angle to it on the very top. So when you're reaching for the power sleep button, it's kind of hard to reach. Not really hard to reach, but it's kind of uncomfortable compared to the other Android phones that I have had from Boost Mobile. I think that they maybe could have put it designed better or had it sticking up quite a bit so that you don't have to reach for it. I find that most people, when they hold their phone like this, that, I don't know, it's just kind of uncomfortable to reach for it. Now the bad part about the actual design of it, as much as I like it, is it's very slippery. So when you're holding on to the phone, it will slide in and out of your hand very easily, as well as when it's on surfaces. So be very careful when you have this phone on a surface, because of the fact that it can slide very easily. It probably could scratch up the back of it, which I'm sure you guys do not want to do. Due to the fact that the LG Marquee has the Nova display, you will notice a significant difference. The screen will be very crisp, has better colors, and they're more vivid. Another really good thing about the Nova display is that it's very visible during daylight hours, even in direct sunlight. Now, unlike the ZTE Warp, as you can see right now, the buttons on the very bottom are lit up, and when you touch them, they light up even more. Now, with the ZTE Warp, you wouldn't get that during the day. They would not stay lit like that. Even though they're very dim, they are still lit. The way the buttons lit up on the ZTE Warp was there was the proximity monitor. When you were in low lit environments, they would light up. So I thought that that was a nifty little feature, that they did stay lit even during the day. And another nice feature is whichever button you tap, it turns blue. One of them small features that I thought was nice. However, it's not something that you'd want to make a decision based off of just something as simple as that. Now the actual size of the screen is 4 inches. Coming from the Warp, which was 4.3 inches, yes, there is a significant difference, but the screen is not to the point where it's too small. It's very nice, and I have no problems with it. I really thought I was going to. Now don't get me wrong, I do miss the larger screen. However, the 4-inch display is just fine. Now, coming with the display, that it is a lot brighter. My impression is that that is what consumes quite a bit of battery, is the fact that your display is so much nicer. Now, I understand that there is a power saver option when you go through your display settings. However, I don't like to have my screen so dim that it's kind of pointless. I don't really like that. Now, while we are on the display and talking about battery life, a very negative thing, probably quite possibly the worst feature of this phone, is the battery life. I had this phone fully charged at about, I'd say about an hour ago, and if you look, I'm already at 70%. All right, so we are talking over 25% of the battery has already been consumed within the first hour, and it's not even had a lot of heavy use. Okay, now while we're talking about the display, I wanted to touch upon the responsiveness of it. It's not all that well, and one thing that you will notice, especially when you're internet browsing or running applications, primarily when you're running, going through your internet browser, is the fact that the screen does hiccup or lag. Okay, not to the point where it's very annoying, but coming from the warp, I had no problems. Now the phone does obviously run Flash, and the Flash player works just fine. However, I thought that I would point that out, that when you're web browsing, obviously I'm just on 3G right now, I don't have Wi-Fi, I'm not going to run through it really quick because that's for a different video. But you will notice in that video on how the phone kind of lags when you're scrolling through the screen and using pinch to zoom. Onto the camera. This is quite possibly one of the best features about the phone. When you're comparing it to the other Android phones offered from Boost Mobile. The image quality is just absolutely amazing. There's no watered down effect. You can use the camcorder with the LED flash, which is extremely nice. I like that a lot. Now, something that I wanted to point out, which you will see in my videos to come, because I will make sure that I do a video with the LED light on in a very low lit environment, is that you need to be within probably, I'd say, about 5 feet from the object that you are actually trying to record in order for it to be lit up. Now, they claim that this phone does record in high definition. I have no proof. There is no settings from it. I'm just going by what I read about it prior to the phone coming out. I have not run through the manual. However, when you look through the images and watch the videos, it does look like it's high definition. However, I do not have proof, but I just thought I'd point that out. Oops, I'm hitting record here. Now, if we go back to our screen, I downloaded tiny LED flashlight. Okay. Now, obviously, you can see this is my kitchen table. Now, it's obviously daylight out, it's noon, so you will see just how bright the flashlight really is. Now it's on. As you can see just how bright the flashlight is on this device. It is awesome. Off and on, I'll take my hand away. So that is another really nice feature that I thought I'd point out when in reference to the camera. Now, the bad things that I thought I'd point out in reference to the front-facing camera, even though it's 2 megapixels, and I understand that, can be, I would say it's very grainy, and it's not really nice quality. Now, while we're on the topic of the front-facing camera, I thought I'd point out to people that obviously are huge Skype fanatics along with Tango. I've been having quite a few issues with Skype. I'm able to see people, but they're not able to see me, even though my camera's on. And I've run through all the settings and everything's set right. Tango, on the other hand, has worked for me just fine. However, once again, the image quality of what you're looking at and the person that, for both perspectives, from the person that's looking at you and you viewing the other person that's on the other line, you will notice that the image is very grainy. So I just thought I'd let you guys know that in reference to the front-facing camera, based on the fact that I figured since it was not VGA quality, it was 2 megapixels, that I guess I was kind of expecting it to be a lot better. Now, I have pointed out in reference to the speaker that that the speaker volume is, now it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be so loud to the point where you're going to have to not have it on max volume. I do notice when I'm watching movies, due to the fact that, once again, that's a con, that the speaker's located on the back. I mean, I think that they very well could have included it here at the base of the phone, but they opted not to. There is nice, I would say it has a very nice, I'm not going to say extremely clear sound, but it is a lot better than the ZTE Warp, and it's loud enough to the point where I've watched at least probably about 6 movies and listened to music, and I've yet to bust out my headphones because I really did not need them. As well as an increase from the ZTE Warp is the vibrate, which I have already covered in my other video. It is improved. It's not extremely, I wouldn't say that it's to the point where it's incognito. My wife has the incognito, and she uses that for her alarm clock, and when her alarm goes off, it wakes me up. That's how strong the vibrate feature is on that phone. Now, it's not going to be to that extent, however, it has improved greatly. Now, I have already covered movies in reference to speaker volume. The quality of them is excellent. Obviously, just like the ZTE Warp, they both handle 720 high definition video, which I have no complaints about. Would be nice to have 1080, but 720 is just fine for me. In reference to high definition gaming, I have not run through a lot of games, but the games that I have run through, they've run pretty smooth with virtually no lag. And those are pretty much the topics I wanted to cover for you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel, please feel free to check out the other videos that I've put out on other Boost Mobile devices. And thank you guys very much for subscribing. And if you have not already, make sure you check out my LG Marquee versus ZTE Warp video for your chance to win some great prizes.